My name is Jerry Lindquist, and I belong to the 82nd Airborne 505th, and this is my aid station. The aid station on this side would be the medics. They'd be working on the gentleman, the soldier, and working on him, and all the bandages, the hypodermic needles, everything is on this side. So they're constantly working on this side, trying to patch him up, get him to a hospital. This is just an aid station. And on the other side is where a clerk would be, because World War II, you had no internet. This was typewriter and field phones, calling for ambulances, jeeps, whatever they needed. So you'd have a clerk on that side doing his thing, and they'd constantly have to replace the blood. So you have a blood bank, you've got sterilization, you've got your operating room right here real quick, just enough to get him to a hospital, and then every single type of bandage you could think of is brought in by all these different cases and boxes. Everything comes in cases and boxes. So this is my interpretation of what a field hospital would be. A lot of people for the aid stations, people don't really get to see what the medics did in World War II or the doctors and the nurses. So this is my interpretation of it. And some of the equipment you cannot, even to this day in modern medical colleges, they don't teach. These are glass hypodermics. And we have the old-fashioned mercury thermometers. So this is as authentic as we can possibly get it to represent why we do it, so people understand what's going on. The IV bottles you cannot get anymore, so therefore they were made for the movie Hacksaw Ridge, and we've been buying these up as best we can to represent what it looked like, what went on, and why they did it. This was just to get them off the battlefield, patch them up, and then 10 miles down the road is the hospital. So patch them up, get them out, get them down. And if you got overrun, you didn't have time to pack all this stuff up, throw a couple of hand grenades in here, and then you take off. So that is why this is, everything's in crates, and we try to get as much original items as we possibly can. Okay, now on this side is the clerk side. The doctors and the medics are working on that side to get him done. Over here you have the typewriter, the field telephone, company desk. All the paperwork has to be done to where whatever they do to that patient has to be typed up, put in his personnel bag, and that bag goes with that soldier until he's released out of the hospital. So on this side you have some of the comforts of home. The guys would have their Lucky Strikes, Chesterfields. This is the original one dinner that is complete World War II original. The clear Coca-Cola bottle is strictly World War II, made overseas for the troops, not made in the United States. So if you see one of these, that is original. They cannot deny it. There's your field phone, typewriter. This is the blood bank. Blood has to stay cold. So therefore they pack it with ice, put the blood in it, and then ship it out. Your little cook stove, not only make coffee, but you had to sterilize all your equipment. And then your gas passer had to use ether back then. They didn't have gas, not in aid stations. So you got the old-fashioned ether, and then this is the ether mask where they drip it on. And he'd be there, they'd be operating, the clerk would be on this side. So it's a combination of working together to get that trooper out of here alive and then 10 miles down the road to a hospital to actually do the basic work and really touch him up real good. So this is my interpretation of an aid station close to the front.